But for the time being, we go to Chris in London. Chris, hello, this is Talk Sport.
Yes, hello, James.
Chris, where have you been all my life?
Oh, well, here and there. Did you know, talking about crisps and alcohol, that one drink of alcohol destroys between 10 to 15,000 brain cells?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Then, am I all right?
Well, it depends how much you drink.
Well, everything destroys brain cells, practically.
No, it doesn't. Some things do and some things don't.
Well, presenting this programme, mine are going down like 9 pins.
No, it should be good for the brain cells if you're talking about the meaning of words, because it's expanding the mind.
Oh.
And talking about the mind, isn't the brain wonderful? It's better than any computer.
Well, some people's are.
Yes. But therefore, did you know that Adam had 20 times the vital forces that we have now? So
Adam who?
Adam, you know, Adam and Eve, Adam.
Oh, the Adam House of Adam and Eve?
Yes.
Before surnames were invented?
Well, I don't know if he had a surname, but it just shows that that we should make...
His surname would have been Godson. Wouldn't it?
No, because God's son was Jesus. Although we all are sons and daughters.
Oh, blind Chris, we've only been talking for a few seconds and already you've said Jesus.
Anyway,
yes.
So
Adam had what? 20 times the what?
The vital forces that we have now.
What do you mean, vital forces?
Well, the brain power, he was much bigger, much stronger, everything.
How do you know?
Well, because...
You got a photograph of him?
No, but because he was created perfect, so that...
Yeah, but how do you know?
Well, because the Bible...
No, not why. How do you know?
Because the Bible says that God created Adam perfect.
Well, of course. I've got a leaflet that says the washing machine I've bought is reliable and efficient. And it's not. It keeps breaking down. So because it says so in the Bible doesn't mean diddly squat.
Well, to you maybe, but to me it does.
Oh, wow. Now that's a different thing.
Because I believe it, but it disproves the theory of evolution, because it means that man is declining, not
no, it
getting
doesn't.
better.
No, it doesn't. It means you've got a book. That's what it means.
Well, if you choose to think so, that's your prerogative.
No, tell me how it disproves the theory of evolution. Tell me how it does that.
How?
Yes, how?
Because...
No, not why. How?
How? Because...
Yes, how?
It says the things...
Who do you think I am? Fred Dinage?
Who's he?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Some people have got that.
Because things started off perfectly and have, declined, whereas evolution says that things are getting better and better and better over millions and millions of years.
No, it doesn't say things are getting better at all.
Well, what does evolution say?
Evolution says some things survive and others don't. That's what evolution says.
Well, we all know that. Because we can see with our eyes that some things survive and some things don't. So that's not very clever.
But evolution, and I'm quite happy to say, Chris, that I share reservations which some people have about the theory of evolution and the origin of species, which is the name of the book. Just a minute. I quite accept that there are gaps in it, and it doesn't answer every question. That doesn't mean that I therefore immediately resort to the creationist theory, because I find that there are rather more gaps in that, frankly. But anyway, evolution talks about the survival of the fittest.
Well, James, yes. James.
Right. Now, just a minute, Chris. What do you think that means, the survival of the fittest?
Well, it's supposed to mean that the strongest survive, but that's not always the way.
No, it means the most fit. That which is most fit for the purpose.
Well, that was Charles Darwin's book, wasn't it?
What?
The Origin of Species.
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever heard of the subtitle of that book?
No.
Well, the subtitle of that book is something like The Preservation of the Most Favoured Races.
Was it really?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Well, what do you mean by most favoured? What,
Well,
they get a grant from the European Union or something?
No, it's like a racist thing, isn't it?
No, well, I mean, all right, yeah, there is a slight argument about that, but and I suppose it's worth discussing under a separate heading now. But let's just return to stop flanneling, Chris, because you do this and keep
flanneling.
Yeah, you will insist on answering a question which you wish I had asked you rather than one that I actually have.
No, because I think it was John Milton said, let the truth, something like about if the truth is the truth, it doesn't matter because it will stand out for itself, so people will see. And, there's truth and there's error in this life. Much as people would like to say that everything is acceptable, there's truth and there's error. And
right.
and most people can just see the human mind and see how wonderful it is and think that mind had to be made by somebody more clever than us, because we can't figure out the mind. We can't. And people go about destroying the human mind, and people make things legal and illegal to destroy the human mind.
Well, yours has been badly winged anyway. Listen, now, you see, I don't know whether you thought you were disproving my assertion that you will insist on saying things which are completely irrelevant to what we're talking about, but you just did it for quite a few moments there. Now listen, just returning to your original point about whatever it was.
Well, at least I'm not insulting, talking about your mind, which you were to me.
Well, you wouldn't have any ammunition, of course.
Wouldn't I? Well,
No.
you drink and I don't, so maybe I would.
Yeah, but I'm not potty. Now...
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, listen...
Sticks and stones, right?
Believe me, yeah, well, if sticks and stones break your bones, why didn't God think of that? Why didn't he make them unbreakable?
Well, God meant people's bones to work very well, but people, unfortunately, abuse their bodies so that they don't work very well.
No. If you fall over, that's not abusing your body, unless you're you and Blair.
Well...
Anyway, listen, look, let's just go back to the thing. The theory of evolution says this, that which is most suited to its environment survives, and that which is unsuited doesn't. Now, I admit that there are difficulties with the theory of evolution in that you don't find, for example, remains of giraffes whose necks are not quite as long as modern-day giraffes.
Exactly.
As if... I mean, the Galapagos Islands and all the rest of it, there are a unique species living at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. Did you know that? Because they haven't been able to get out.
Unique species of what?
Lizards and all that sort of thing. Yeah, things that can't get, they have been isolated to almost the same extent that the creatures in Madagascar and the Galapagos Islands, and even in Australia. You only get kangaroos in Australia sort of thing, don't you? Yeah?
Yes.
Right. So that does seem to establish some sort of point. Yes, there is in human terms, it's referred to as the missing link problem, and the same thing also applies to animals. If only long-necked giraffes survived because they could reach the stuff at the top of the trees, where are all the short-necked giraffes?
There weren't any, because they were made with long necks in the first place, because there is no missing link.
Well, there is no evidence of any, and that does mean that there are difficulties with the theory of evolution. And Darwin accepts that, and most evolutionists accept that. They do not say, therefore, the only alternative is God and creation. And I don't say that either.
Well, a lot of astronomers believe in God, because when they study the universe and the cosmos, they come to the conclusion that it's so amazing and so awesome, and there's so much order, that there has to be a creator, because we aren't clever enough to even sort out our own planet.
That's
and
right.
we didn't invent the brain, and the brain certainly didn't evolve, so there had to be somebody...
It really must have evolved, mustn't it?
Of course it didn't evolve.
Of course it evolved.
How do you know?
Because the human brain of today is far different from the human brain of 300,000 years ago.
Well, it didn't exist 300,000 years ago, and
Yes, it did.
You can't prove it.
I can't prove that the Battle of Hastings took place, but we generally work along those lines.
Well, we know because there were people around at the Battle of Hastings. There was
Well, they're
nobody
not-
around at 300,000 years ago.
Yes, of course there were. Of course there were. There were humanoids around.
Humanoids? What's that? Monkeys walking?
No.
What are humanoids, James?
Hominids.
What are they?
They are bipeds with intelligence.
Things with two legs?
Yeah.
You mean monkeys with two legs?
No. I mean hominids.
Look, we've either got monkeys or we've got people, because monkeys don't develop into people these days, do they? And monkeys don't talk.
No.
So monkeys and apes and hyenas, all those are part of the monkey family, but they're not part of the human family, because we are created in the image of God. Monkeys are created in the image of monkeys.
Genetically, I'm afraid they do.
Pardon?
Well, it has been established that that the genetic pattern of the higher primates is a gnat's widgie away from the human one.
No.
Yeah, yes.
We are distinct and separate.
Oh, of course, just as elephants and cockroaches are distinct. But they all have brains, they all have respiratory systems, they all have motor functions.
But they don't have a conscience, do they?
What the hell's that got to do with it?
It's got to... I mean, monkeys feel love and they look after their young. Yes, of course they do.
So do elephants.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For all we know, so do cockroaches.
Yes, I'm sure they do. But...
I've never interviewed one.
No, maybe. Anyway, but the fact that monkeys do not talk to each other, and they do not think about philosophy and about why do they get here, which humans do.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's a fact, Chris, but it doesn't prove anything.
Well, it proves that we are different from all other animals.
It proves that we play cricket, which is good enough for me. But we are not. No, we are not different from all other animals. You've just said that other primates show affection and communicate with each other.
They do.
That's right. So, and yet, in the very next sentence, you said that we are like no other species.
And that is correct, because
no, hang on. In 2 consecutive sentences, you told me how like the apes we are, because we do some of the same things as they do, and then in the next sentence you said, and therefore we are unlike any other species.
Because in that not because
anything. You said we are very much like apes because they do the same as we do in this respect and that respect. And in the next sentence, Chris, you said, and therefore we are unlike any other species.
We are unlike any other species.
Then why did you say we are so like the apes? Because they do...
I didn't say we are so much like the apes. I said we've got something in common, is that we can feel love to our young, we can feel compassion.
Yes, right, you said that, yes.
But they aren't talking, monkeys aren't talking to each other, to each other and say, I wonder how many planets there are out there in the universe.
Anyone listening to this would think, when you say monkeys don't talk to each other, an extraterrestrial being, which I'm sure you doubt exists, would think, well, from what I can make out, monkeys do talk to each other on a regular basis. On 1089 and 10:53 AM Talk Sport.